numbers are in, the recovery continuing for China's manufacturers, but at a milder pace than many had expected. Let's throw on the chart here. 50 is the break-even point for this measure. We were expecting a pickup to 50.9 on it, but instead it came in a bit softer. A wider base of respondents in this new formulation potentially contributing to that result. Now let's put on the HSBC market number as well. Remember, this is the version that tracks the private sector, and it's looking much stronger at 52.3. All right, now let's try something a little different here. To get beyond the official headline figure, we're actually going to break this up into the subcomponents from which the official PMI figure is built. So stay with me here. You can see we've split it up into these different spokes. They represent the different components. Remember, anything above 50 is growth or heating up. We put that in red. Anything below 50 means a contraction or cooling off. We put that in blue. So this data here is actually how things stood way back in May 2012. That's when the world was starting to get worried about China's economy, if you remember. And you can see input prices, raw material both in contraction, inventories piling up. So not good signs. As we went through the summer, the chart pulled into the center, cooling down and really reflecting that slowdown we saw in China. As we get on through the rest of the year, though, we did start to pick up. October, November through December, all looking a lot more healthy. So now let's switch on the numbers for January. We can see overstock is basically gone. Inventory is looking very lean. And input prices shooting up, literally off my chart here at 57.2. Now I had a chat with Mirai's chief China economist, Joy Yang. She wanted to point out the importance of the employment component. Now that's continued to contract through the last few months. Also worth looking at new export orders, which typically is used to highlight external demand for China's manufacturing sector. Now, an interesting way to actually look at that last measure, though, is actually against the broader new orders component, which we've done in this chart. It gives us a rough sense of how domestic demand is starting to take a growing portion of China's factory production. So what's the takeaway here? Well, in short, global consumption is remaining fairly soft as we head into the new year. But for China, at least domestically, the subcomponent suggests we're on track for another uptick in GDP growth for the first quarter and possibly beyond. So no need to panic despite that slightly softer headline figure for this closely watched piece of Chinese data.